Today, three headlines, three absolute scandals. And either the media downplayed it today, kept it quiet, or they didn't report on it at all. Or they painted a completely wrong picture of what really happened. Today, Merz lied about that 80% migrant claim. Gas prices are shooting up by almost 45 cents per liter today. And the press is making something completely different out of it. And last but not least, deepfakes have appeared today. But not from the ones you thought, but directly from the CDU party headquarters, who are now coming under criminal investigation. Stay tuned, this is not an April Fool's joke, and now let's take a look at the first topic.
Over the next 3 years, that was President Shara's wish. Around 80% of the Syrians currently residing in Germany are supposed to return to their home country.
You know, I don't mince words. Today was the meeting in the federal cabinet under the leadership, that's right, of Friedrich Merz. And he got absolutely grilled after El-Chalani suddenly said in England, yes, he never said anything about the 80%. After that, Friedrich Merz tried to justify himself and claim that, yes, it would have been El-Chalani's fault and he didn't know anything about it. But I just showed it to you again. He is the one who said that. And in the spirit of, why should I care about what I said yesterday? German citizens are so incredibly dumb that they'll forget what I said yesterday anyway. That's probably what Friedrich Merz was thinking in the federal cabinet today. And there are some leaks that popped up today that are extremely explosive. And if I may ask you for just one thing, please leave a like and subscribe so that we can show these videos to even more people, and you would be helping this channel a lot to regain its reach.
About 935,000 Syrians lived in Germany, and around 300,000 of them have a job. In the summer of 2024, 518,000 Syrians received Bürgergeld.
And in the Bundestag, things escalated today because it was said, get ready for this, 9,738 people who can be deported have a permanent job here. We want to, and that's exactly what happened today in the federal cabinet. The people who work here, we want to deport them, and the 518,000 Bürgergeld recipients, they should stay here. However, the press doesn't report about it. Or did you hear anything about the federal cabinet today? But feel free to take a look. If you search for it, you will find it right under the Bundestag. And that alone is actually the ultimate farce. Today we'll get straight to the SPD. They accused him today of lying deliberately and intentionally. I'll just read it out briefly because I took some notes today. This is not a small misunderstanding, this is political deception. Either it was intentional or just wishful thinking. Merz threw out a number that he wanted to hear, or it was a calculated lie. He knew that the press wouldn't check it, and I wonder why it wasn't passed on to the press. I'll tell you what I think about it. He deliberately tried to deceive us, but what's your opinion on this? Feel free to write it down below. By the way, that's also in the meeting minutes from the Bundestag this evening.
It went up by exactly 1 cent, by that 1 cent that was taken down just an hour ago.
SOS Station A3 Danube West almost broke the €3 mark today by a hair's breadth. We're at 2.89 euros per liter of diesel. It was raised by a whopping 45 cents there, and that's a bit more than a cent. It's now assumed that the fuel bill for commuters will be well over 300 euros more per. Yes, I really have to say it like that, it will really add up per month. However, and that's also part of the truth, they're expecting another price shock. That means the current oil price will double again. If the fighting does not stop in the next 14 days, and Israel has already announced that they will see this through to the end.
The risk is high that things could change, but we had to make an assumption. And as you already said, ships are supposed to pass through the Strait of Hormuz again during the second quarter. Then, according to this assumption, energy prices will gradually go back down as well.
And while this morning people were still talking about a diesel tanker that just turned around on its way to Europe, now it's, let me just quickly read this out. The Grand H6, the Ali, and the Everdance Life, as well as the Elandra Turn and the Bari, which are now simply heading east, carrying diesel or kerosene. Either someone is planning something much, much bigger, or this government is really trying to run the country into the ground, because they have now redirected the diesel and also the kerosene, which was actually intended for Europe, because they mistakenly believed that the economy could somehow turn around in Q2, while all across Europe and also in Brussels there was a special meeting today where it was clearly stated once again that the energy price, the fuel price, as well as the crude oil price could double again if this war doesn't end in 14 days. What does that mean? We're talking about 3 to 4 euros per liter of fuel, and I just wonder who is supposed to pay for that. Small technical mistake, 3.50 to 4.50 euros per liter of fuel. So let me ask you, who is supposed to pay for all of this again? Is this maybe a deliberate action to really drive this country into the ground? Now let's move on to the last point for today, and those are the deepfakes that have surfaced. Well, from CDU members because they simply targeted their colleagues. Listen to the whole thing yourselves.
On January 7, 2026, several employees of the Lower Saxony CDU parliamentary group received a message on their cell phones. In a shared WhatsApp chat group, a senior employee of the parliamentary group posted a short video generated by AI in which another senior employee of the group was depicted in a bikini and in a sexualized manner.
That was the last straw in today's meeting of the federal cabinet when that also came to light. Among other things, the Chancellor was confronted with the fact that it's not just about the dancing Chancellor, and who would have thought, which party is it again? Oh, the CDU, so the CDU is making deepfakes, the SPD is watching children's movies just like the left party too, and the Greens just slander themselves. And yes, a single party is to blame, and it must be banned. However, in this case, I can already tell you in advance, yes. The prosecutor's office has now been called in to investigate the CDU.
Now, this message has just been sent out about the situation, which apparently made the rounds in this WhatsApp group back in January. Exactly what happened there is not being disclosed for reasons of personal privacy.
If you're interested in what really happened there, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll make a separate video about it. By the way, it's going to be a bit longer because the boundaries that were crossed there led to the escalation. And just think about the Colin Fernandez case, what's being made out of it right now, and who are the ones to blame? The CDU itself,